Welcome to my YouTube Neov Story channel. Our story officially begins. I hope you like it. The air conditioner has finally been installed at home. During the summer vacation, I thought I would be able to happily enjoy the pleasure brought by the air conditioner. To my surprise, my pregnant sister-in-law had the air conditioning outdoor unit installed in my room. I don't want to live there, but she cried and said that if I don't move in, she will go and get an abortion. To calm down my sister-in-law, my brother beat me up and then locked me in the room. I succumbed to heat stroke after being exposed to high temperatures for an extended period, and ultimately perished in my room. When I opened my eyes again, I'm back at the time I just arrived home for summer vacation. I died, and then I was reborn. My brother beat me up and locked me in a room with an air conditioning unit, which caused me to develop heat stroke and ultimately die in the room. Heaven has given me a chance to start over. How could I make the same mistake again? I just happened to be reborn at the moment I just stepped through the door. If it had been a little earlier, I don't think I would have even come home, and I would have nipped everything in the bud. My sister-in-law, still with a protruding belly, smiled and chatted with me as she did in the previous life. The house has an air conditioner installed, but there's no place to put the outdoor unit, so it will have to be placed in your room. I hope you don't mind. I was immediately upset when I heard that last word. It's been so hot lately, you almost need to run the air conditioner at night to sleep. How am I supposed to sleep if you put the outdoor unit of the air conditioner in my room? The sister-in-law immediately turned red with grievance. Why couldn't she sleep? Everyone else can sleep, but you can't. I consider it you with good intention, but you don't appreciate it. I'm so heartbroken. I threaten to dismantle the air conditioner outdoor unit, otherwise I will leave home. As soon as the sister-in-law heard this, she immediately got agitated. Hit her stomach hard. If you dare to leave, I'll dare to abort the child. I'll do what I say. I just want you to stay in the room with the air conditioning unit outside. What's wrong with that? Why don't you listen to me? Now all of you and your family must listen to me, for I have a child of the Leaf family in my belly. My parents and my brother also panicked and immediately surrounded my sister-in-law, comforting her. It's okay, don't be in a hurry, the child is important. You are still pregnant with the child, you can't get angry. What nonsense, it's just letting Nancy Chen go live in that room, just live in it, why are you so angry? You even want to abort the child is innocent. Well, Nancy Chen, you go and stay in that room, don't let your sister-in-law be unhappy. Looking at the four people in front of me, it's as if they are the family, and I am just an outsider. I don't live there, why don't you go live there? The sister-in-law started crying loudly again. My brother raised his fist at me, hitting me again and again, nearly knocking me unconscious. When I became conscious, I found that I had been locked in the room. No one responds no matter how much I knock on the door. The air conditioning outdoor unit is rumbling loudly, and the temperature in the room is getting higher and higher. My sweat has almost completely soaked my clothes. I'm completely exhausted, I can't even get up. I closed my eyes and lost consciousness. This time, I won't be so stupid and fail to solve the problem. Children with sweet mouths get to eat candy. Sister-in-law, you are so thoughtful. You know I feel the cold easily, so you deliberately installed the air conditioning outdoor unit in my room. Sister-in-law, having you is truly a blessing for our family. I pretended to worship my sister-in-law. The sister-in-law became incoherent for a moment. The nephew of my sister-in-law just happened to come to my house to play, and he gazed at me puzzled, saying, Auntie, are you really very afraid of the cold? It's very uncomfortable without air conditioning in the summer. I patted his head, yes, and is very cold. I continued to praise my sister-in-law. Tonight I will definitely sleep in this room. The warmth must be very considerate. I will definitely enjoy the gift my sister-in-law gave me. Sis, you're really amazing. I haven't even said anything, and you already know that I get cold easily and can't handle air conditioning. You know that as soon as I turn on the air conditioning, I get a terrible headache. My sister-in-law scratched her head bashfully and said, It's nothing, I just happen to have some foresight. I knew it, no one can escape the rainbow fart. I went to the kitchen again and praised my sister-in-law's abilities to my mother, and my mother was also very happy to hear it. Tonight, Mom has given you permission to eat a chicken leg. I used to never have the right to eat chicken legs, the chicken legs were all my brother's, and it was only after my sister-in-law became pregnant that she got her share. It seems that praising my sister-in-law really was useful. After all, who made my sister-in-law the family's jewel? The child in the belly is our family's future heir to the throne. The sister-in-law is watching a live stream sale. Her nephew is sitting next to her watching the TV. My mom is busy in the kitchen, and my brother and my dad have not returned home yet. It's a good opportunity. I dragged the suitcase with a broken wheel, making a clanking sound as I walked towards the room. I placed the suitcase at the door, then went into my brother's and parents' room and stole the air conditioner remote control. I crouched down and pretended to unpack my suitcase, hiding the remote control inside. After finishing these tasks, my brother and my father also got off work and returned home. I greeted them with a smile and then praised my sister-in-law again in front of them. They say I've grown up. Yes, I've grown up. They are my closest relatives, but it was because of me that they abused me for not wanting to sleep in a room with an air conditioning unit installed. The old master's outdoor unit was installed with great difficulty, and you say you're going to dismantle it? Do you know how much time it takes me to install an air conditioner each time? Can't you just stay? Waste your father's expression. You have to stay here today. My brother is an air conditioner installation technician, so the incredible installation in our home is definitely his work. My dad is also siding with my brother. I provide you with food, drink, and even pay for your university education. I even let you live in a house, but you're still unwilling to do so. Is this your upbringing? Do you still see me as your father? You shameless bitch, you are the shame of our family. You deserve to only live in a room with an air conditioning outdoor unit. You are not worthy of enjoying air conditioning. Why don't you go live there and make your sister-in-law angry? If my son has a problem with you, I will take your life. Our family cannot accommodate you, this great Buddha. After staying for one night, you should quickly leave, as staying at home will interfere with your sister-in-law's eyes. I've raised you for so many years, it's been a waste. I should have married you off to that lunatic back home. I can never believe that those despicable words were uttered by my own father and elder brother. In their eyes, I may be that kind of person. Fortunately, I have a second chance in life, and I will not pay attention to whatever unpleasant things they say. I chatted and smiled with everyone, complimenting each and every one of them. Your brother is getting better and better, the air conditioner installation at home is really good, you are simply amazing, there will be another son born soon, you are truly a winner in life. Dad, you are really getting more and more handsome. It's hard to believe you're almost 60. Look at you, you don't even have any wrinkles, surpassing all your peers. Mom, your cooking has become more and more delicious. Although I haven't had the chance to eat it yet, the aroma has already made me start drooling. It smells so amazing, I love you so much, Mom. Sister-in-law, how come you're pregnant but your figure is still so good? Even I, a college student, don't have a figure as good as yours. I'm so envious of you. The little nephew in your belly is also super well behaved and doesn't bother you at all. The people at home were all happy with my praise. During meals, I constantly look at my phone and occasionally pick it up to reply to messages. Nancy Chen. My father slapped the table, eating and playing with his phone. His manners have gone to the dogs. My brother, who was playing with his phone, didn't even look up. I was in a hurry, not my father. It's like this, the school asked us to go back temporarily, saying they would assign us jobs. Next year at this time, won't I be graduating? If we accept the job assignments from the school during this period, we can just be regularized by the time we get there. The salary and benefits during the internship are also not bad. There is an internship allowance and you can also receive an internship salary. After becoming a formal employee, they will directly give you an apartment. If you perform well and work for 5 years, they will also give you a car, reportedly worth over 400,000. The school told us to go back, but there are only 5 spots available. However, I don't want to go back at all. I just got home and haven't had enough time with you all yet. Hearing that he was being given a house and a car, my brother put down his phone and looked up. My parents and my sister-in-law's eyes lit up. You silly child, you'll have time to stay with us during the holidays in the future, and if you don't seize this good opportunity, what if someone else takes it away? My mom says, Nancy Chen, listen to your father. Based on his many years of work experience, this is reliable. Just go for it, and don't worry about anything else. The internship salary, give it to me, and I'll save it for you as your dowry. Sister, you must go. When you get the house, you must let us come and visit. You are still young, so you must be careful not to get cheated. You must work hard and bring honor to our family. The abacus has already jumped to my forehead. They are still saying it's for my own good. Tui. My brother squinted his eyes and suddenly said, "You're not trying to trick us, are you?" The discussion at the dining table came to an abrupt halt. I pretended to be aggrieved and said, "Brother, how can you think like this about me? Don't believe it, let me show you my phone, it's just group messages, I don't even need to lie to you. Thinking this way about me really hurts me. I was even going to say that I don't have a driver's license, and that I would give you the car once I get one in the future." I opened the chat record to show my brother. I have been prepared for a long time, in case someone does not believe. There are more than 100 people in the group, how could someone still be sending these uncertain messages? I just spent a little more money and got our group to cooperate. My brother just took a quick look, and all his thoughts were on the sentence about giving him the car. Go ahead, keep your word. After eating 2 chicken legs forcefully, I left home dragging a suitcase. Before leaving, I pretended to look for my house keys and stole the keys to my room. In my previous life, my brother used this key to lock me in the room. I bought high-speed rail tickets overnight to leave this city where my dear family lives. As soon as I got off the high-speed train, I received a call from my mother. "You little bitch, did you take the air conditioner remote? Didn't your sister-in-law let you stay in the room with the air conditioning unit? How dare you take the air conditioner remote control? The room with the air conditioner outdoor unit is more comfortable. Your sister-in-law is doing it for your own good, yet you are still unwilling to stay there. It was a waste of our good intentions. Did I give you face? Hurry up and take the remote control back, don't force me to beat you. I have discovered that the air conditioner remote control is now missing, but it's too late. I have already left home for more than 500 kilometers. Mom, what are you talking about? What would I do with your remote control? I don't need to take your remote control, what's the point of taking it? Moreover, I feel cold, Mom. I like to stay in a warm space. If it weren't for some matters at school, I could have enjoyed the cozy, warm room at home tonight. Where did you put the air conditioner remote control? Look around again, it might be under the sofa or the bed. Mom, you are slandering me, I am so heartbroken, I will come back immediately, you can search my body, even if I don't want the job the school assigned to me. My mom is anxious, don't worry, let's look again, don't give up on your good job, let's go look again. You must not give up your job, Nancy Chen, it is a great opportunity, our whole family is relying on you. My mom asked me carefully again, is it true that you gave the car to your brother? How's that? Of course it counts. Don't worry, Mom. I don't want the car or the house, I'll give them all to you. Please let my brother and sister-in-law rest easy as well. I have cared for me for so many years, so I definitely need to repay them. That's good, keep up the good work. I'll go look for the remote control. The nephew of the sister-in-law is there, isn't it? The child must have mischievously hidden. I urgently covered my mouth. Oh my goodness, I was just guessing, please don't take it to heart. According to how much the sister-in-law protects her nephew, she definitely won't allow anyone to speak ill of him. She will likely cause a commotion and try to terminate her pregnancy again if I say anything. I only wanted to make my mother have a little bit of doubts, as for whether she dares to go and question, it's not my business. I'm just guessing casually. Moreover, the sister-in-law's nephew is no small fry. In my previous life, when I was beaten by my brother, he was very excited and joined in, kicking me a few times. One after another, kick and say, die, die, you little cutie, you're only fit to lie on the ground and lick my shoes. A 5-year-old child speaking the most vicious words. I don't know either where his malice towards me comes from. The phone hung up, and I threw the air conditioner remote control into the trash can. Dear Dad, Mom, brother and sister-in-law, please come and visit us. Go to the city more than 500 kilometers away from you. I also know that my parents would not be willing to spend unnecessary money to get a remote control in a situation where there is a hope of finding the remote control. The 2 air conditioners cost my brother all his savings. My brother has no money at all. I don't know if the sister-in-law will cry, make a fuss, or even attempt suicide. The weather will be very hot in a few days. Enjoy it thoroughly. I contacted my former part-time boss at the company to ask if she needed any summer interns. After receiving her affirmative response, I started looking for a house. Dragging the suitcase down the street, the gentle breeze blows. The crowd walking strolling spoke and laughed. It added a lively atmosphere to this city. After leaving home, the air has indeed become fresher. The temperature is gradually rising, and I checked the temperature in my area, which has already reached 40 degrees. I don't know if they found the remote control. At this time, my mom called me and said, "Nancy Chen, do you want to come back home for a visit?" "Why?" "I don't know what's going on again. Your sister-in-law is crying and making a fuss, demanding that you come home. We don't know what to do, and if you don't come back, she'll have an abortion. Go home for a visit." "I can't get time off, so I won't be able to come. Your sister-in-law has started acting up again. Tell your boss that you have a family emergency and need some flexibility. I'm currently in a probation period, and if I take leave, I won't have the chance to get a permanent position. How can I get a house and a car for you then?" "But your sister-in-law." The sound of the sister-in-law came from the phone. "I don't care. What kind of crappy company doesn't allow leave? Just go home and stay for a day. What can't you take a day off? Bring her back. Let her come back. I must see her. You must have her stay at home for one night." "She won't come back. I'll go and abort the child. If I can't live, the child won't live either. I will go down with my son in the belly." "You are all murderers. You killed your own grandson with your own hands. I hate you. Your unborn son in my belly also hates you. Get her back here quickly." "Did you hear that?" The sister-in-law shouted loudly, and the sound was so loud that I could even feel it through the phone. "You know, you might as well go back home," my mother said brightly. It seems that the air conditioning remote control has been set up at home, and it is estimated that it was necessary to disturb the children's play again to let my parents go and configure the air conditioning remote control. And the purpose of my sister-in-law asking me to go back is probably for me to stay in the air conditioning outdoor unit room for a night. I don't understand why she is so persistent, and I have no intention of going back. Otherwise, it will definitely end up like the last life. I want to live. I was pondering how to decline my mother's request when my boss arrived. "What phone calls do you make during work? Can you work properly? Whenever it's time to work, you start dragging your feet and whining. If you don't want to do it, then just quit early. Do you also want a house and a car? You're just daydreaming. The school sent you here to learn about work, not to make phone calls. Even if the emperor himself came today, you are not allowed to make phone calls. Can you do it? Can you do it or not?" I immediately hung up the phone. Then she gave a grateful look to the boss. She flicked her hair. "It's a small matter. I am grateful that I told my boss about my family situation even before taking on the part-time job, so she is now able to cooperate with me in this act. I don't think I can handle my mom. Mom, I'm sending you a message from the bathroom in secret right now. You heard it too. Our boss is very fierce. Even the slightest mistake will get you fired. I don't dare to challenge her. If I get fired, the car and house I promised you will all be in vain. Tell my sister-in-law to calm down and stay composed. After I get a formal job, there will be a holiday, and I will go back then. I really don't know what to do, Mom. This company has been oppressing us all the time, and I'm having such a hard time every day. I can't go to the bathroom anymore. The boss is knocking on the door outside. Mom, please tell my sister-in-law, and from now on, if there's anything, just send me a message, don't call. I'm sorry, my boss. You are a good boss, but my mother doesn't need a good boss. My mom hasn't called me for several days. Just as I thought my sister-in-law had given up, I encountered the police who had come to see me. Hello, are you Ms. Nancy Chen? I nodded. We received your mother's report that she cannot find you. She said she hasn't been able to reach you by phone for several days and doesn't know how you are doing, so she wants to come and check on you, but she doesn't have your address. I felt a subconscious sense of fear. Sure enough, the next moment, I saw the familiar figure in the distance. It's my mom. My mom called me a few days ago, even though she knows I'm working over here. Why did she say she couldn't find me? Your mother said you haven't spoken on the phone in the past few days, and she only knows you are working in this city, but doesn't know your exact location. She came here alone by high-speed rail, and happened to have run out of mobile phone credit, so she couldn't make a call, and is also unfamiliar with the area. Since I found you, let's leave now. You need to take care of your mother. As people get old sometimes it's like this, try to be more understanding. I nodded in agreement. My mom really confused me this time. I have no idea what my mom wants to do. Normally, she wouldn't even bother to buy a train ticket to come see me, and when she's at home, she wouldn't even deign to look at me. Still pondering, my mom had already walked up to me. Come on, what are you standing there for? Take me to where you live. She held my hand, and I wanted to pull away. But I'm no match for her strength. What? Your mother is not welcome. My mom said angrily. You treat me this way even though I came to see you with a kind heart? I couldn't resist, so I took her to the house where I live. This house was bought by the boss. It has 2 bedrooms and a living room, but it was only simply renovated and has been left unoccupied here. When I first arrived at the company, I couldn't find a suitable place to stay, so I had to stay at the company every night. The boss rented this apartment to me at a low price, saying that it would be empty anyway. Of course, the requirement is that I go to her company to help her after I graduate. My mom walked around the house, nodding approvingly. This house is not bad, 2 bedrooms and a living room. This is where our company lets us stay temporarily. If we damage anything, the boss will kick us out, so you have to be careful with everything you do, Mom. What are you saying? Is your mother that kind of person? I'm just here to take a look at yours. Why don't you welcome me? I don't have time to keep you company. I'm very busy at work. For once, I'm leaving early today, but I got stuck by the police. Why can't you just give me a call? Can't you just stay home and keep me company? I'm sorry, but I couldn't reach you the other day when I called and asked you to come home, so I had to come see you myself. I've told you, I couldn't get away. I couldn't take a leave. What would I do if I lost my job? Okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Go make my bed, and I'll call your brother and sister-in-law to let them know I'm safe. My mom happily took out her phone to look for the phone number. You don't have any phone credit left, do you? I saw my mom take a card out of her pocket and insert it into the phone skillfully. That card is gone, but I still have another card. Do you know you're making a false alarm? You're delaying someone's work. I really feel that my mother is beyond help. She was able to come up with such a method just to find me. Would you give me your address if I asked you? I can only think of this approach. There's no way my hard-working daughter doesn't want to recognize me as her mother, so I can only come to see her. I never realized my mom was so dramatic. How long will you be staying here? I don't know, I'll stay for as long as I want to. What did your mom say? You're not welcome here. I can't be bothered with her. My mom didn't continue talking to me either. She called my sister-in-law. Joanna, Mom has already arrived at Nancy Chen's place. It's not bad, the environment is quite good, a 2-bedroom 1 living room with air conditioning. I felt a pang in my heart when I heard my mother's words. Once my mother hangs up the phone, I ask her, are you planning to have my sister-in-law come to my place as well? My mother rolled her eyes. What is she thinking? It's your sister-in-law who asked me how the environment is here. She's worried you might be too hot. Aren't you busy with work? Go to work now. I'll make the bed myself. I always feel that my mom has problems. A wolf visiting a chicken is not to be trusted. And it's very likely that my sister-in-law will come to my place. But I have no evidence to prove that my mom has been going out early and coming back late these days, and she just goes out to play when there's nothing else to do. Your social media feed is always a 3x3 grid. I can only comfort myself that I thought too much, and my sister-in-law, with her big belly, should not come. Speak of the devil appears. After work in the evening, I found my sister-in-law sitting on the sofa. Has Nancy Chen returned? This scene is just like the last life. I am trembling all over. Sister-in-law, why are you here? I asked her with a bitter smile. I've come to see you. My brother and I have been on the train all day. My brother came too. Did my brother come as well? Doesn't he have to go to work? My mom immediately grabbed me and said, don't ask your brother this question. Your brother's illegal installation of an air conditioner was discovered, and he has been fired from the company. If you ask him about it now, he will definitely beat you up. Your work is urgent now, don't ask what you shouldn't. I nodded. I really thought my mom was genuinely concerned about me when I heard the first half of what she said. The second half of the sentence hit like a bucket of cold water. Her son is currently unemployed, and she can only rely on her work to provide him with a house and a car. Is it illegal to install it? The air conditioning outdoor unit is installed inside the room, which is considered an illegal installation. I guess it's probably because it was discovered. My brother is a stubborn guy at home, but he has no temper at all outside, and he doesn't dare to illegally install anything for others. I knew in my previous life that it was my sister-in-law who cried and protested to have the air conditioning outdoor unit installed in my room. I don't know why. My parents and my brother couldn't overrule her, so they agreed. However, this matter was caused by his sister-in-law, which led to his dismissal. Why didn't he blame his sister-in-law? I looked at my sister-in-law's swollen belly and couldn't help but exclaim how fortunate the child is. My brother and my sister-in-law are living next door to my room. My mother is sleeping on my sofa. The sister-in-law cries and causes a fuss every day, demanding that I bring her fruit. I don't care about her at all. I came home and saw my mother serving me a plate of grapes. My mom has such a kind heart, but I was interrupted before I could finish saying it. Your sister-in-law wants you to remove the seeds from the grapes. I am shocked and confused. Why do I have to go? Aren't you always at home? Why don't you help out? Your sister-in-law doesn't want me to do it. She only wants you to do it, so please help your sister-in-law. No, I still have to work. Hearing my words, the sister-in-law watching TV started throwing a tantrum again. Help me, hurry up and help me. If you don't do it, I won't have a baby. I want to eat seedless grapes. You must remove the seeds from the grapes while keeping the grape skins intact. I don't care, you have to do it. If you don't, I'll go and abort the baby. My mom pulled me and said, just help your sister-in-law, it won't take long. Do it, okay? May your sister-in-law safely deliver our precious child. Impossible. I clearly refused. Then I looked at my sister-in-law who was still crying. You are already 8 months pregnant, and you still want to go and abort the baby? I'm not going to do it for you today. If you have the guts, go to the hospital and have an abortion. Let's see if you have the guts. I went into the room and closed the door. My brother came back from outside and learned about this matter, immediately knocking on my door. Open the door for me. That's your sister-in-law. How dare you treat your sister-in-law that way? You're so ungrateful. I'll come out and kill you. I opened the door directly. What's the fuss about? Are you responsible for delaying my work? What would happen to your house and car if I lost my job? My brother's palm had already come down halfway, and then it was pulled back. Why don't you agree to your sister-in-law's request? How can I agree? Can you remove the seeds from the grapes while keeping the grape skins intact? I can see that my brother really wants to fight me. But he still endured it for the sake of the car and the house. How would you know if you don't try? I can't do it. Before the door was closed, I said again that the company's welfare benefits have been good recently, and I heard that the house after next year's conversion will be in the most prosperous area of the city center, and our boss has already bought it, just waiting to distribute it to us. Finally, the house has become quiet. Her sister-in-law simply cannot rest. She started to act up again after just a few days. I came home to find that there was an air conditioning outdoor unit in the room I live in. Your sister-in-law said you are feeling cold, so you need an air conditioner outdoor unit to heat you up. Your sister-in-law had your brother dismantle the outdoor unit and install it in your room. Your sister-in-law is still quite good to you. My mom is talking next to me. I was truly shocked by my sister-in-law's perseverance and shamelessness. That's great. If you're envious, you can stay in my room tonight. My mom kept backing away. Do you want to make me die of heat in this hot weather? Aren't you afraid of making me die of heat? Are you not feeling cold? This is good for you. What a load of nonsense. I directly sent a message to the property management of the community saying that someone has illegally installed. There is a clear regulation in this residential area that prohibits the installation of air conditioning outdoor units indoors. My mom is angry. How did you speak? Why are you cursing at someone? What are you crazy? Have we not been good to you? Do what you want to do. No one is forcing you to do anything you don't want to do, and yet you still scold your sister-in-law who is trying to help you. You keep saying it's for my own good, but then why don't you live with me? You've never cared about me all these years, and now that there's something in it for you, you're suddenly thinking of me, aren't you? If it weren't for my consideration for you, would you have been able to study this long? How much have I studied up to now? The tuition fees are fully waived by the school, and the living expenses are all earned by myself. Didn't you let me study just to take away my scholarship? Would you dare to swear that you don't have this idea? Would you dare say that if you had such thoughts, you would be struck by lightning and hit by a car when you go out? My mom doesn't dare. My mom can only coax me now. Don't be angry. It's mom's fault. Mom apologizes to you. Just focus on your work and don't think about anything else, okay? I'll go tell your sister-in-law that I'm not staying in this room anymore. I only find it laughable. Maternal love only manifests itself in the face of self-interest. The property manager knocked on the door soon. Why didn't you report the construction work before starting? We don't know when it was changed. My brother and sister-in-law haven't come back yet from going shopping. My mom was mumbling and I couldn't understand what she was saying. My brother used to install air conditioners. He modified it himself. I've opened my mouth. I've already called my brother, and I guess he'll be back in about 10 minutes. My brother hasn't even entered the door, and he's already been surrounded by the property management. The air conditioning outdoor unit you modified is illegal. How is that illegal? My brother now gets angry when he hears the words illegal. Our community has clearly stipulated that air conditioning outdoor units cannot be installed indoors, and besides, your air conditioning outdoor unit has always been outside, so why are you changing it to be installed indoors? I didn't know that it couldn't be installed indoors. It's such a hassle to dismantle it. Just let it be this way. Can you be more flexible? No, you must act according to the regulations. Communication was ineffective, so my brother could only agree to dismantle it. The sister-in-law rushed up and scratched the property manager's face. Why do they have to demolish it? Why should it be demolished? What's the problem with the changes my husband made? What law did we violate? What can you do to us? The property manager wanted to resist, but seeing that the person on the other side was a pregnant woman, they could only hide. Calm down a bit. The regulations of our community are like this, whether you dismantle it or not. We won't dismantle. We're afraid to be biased. I don't agree. Let's see who dares to dismantle. I'm lying on the ground today, and you all have to step over my belly to dismantle the air conditioner. The property management has no other choice but to call the police. My brother is also a bit anxious. Please don't call the police. I'll try to persuade her again. Pregnant women have a big temper. Please be tolerant. David Chen. Do you dare help an outsider against me? I will kill the child. I want to divorce you. You can't have your son anymore. My brother was frantically trying to stop both sides. The police have arrived, and my boss has come along with them. The true owner of this house. The residential area has clearly stipulated that air conditioning outdoor units cannot be installed indoors. What you have done is illegal. You either cooperate to make the necessary modifications, or you can no longer live in this house and will need to compensate the owner some money. I cried in time, boss, I'm sorry, please don't fire me, I and my family really need this job. What are we going to do if you fire me? My mom also started crying in front of my boss. We will definitely change. Please don't fire Nancy Chen. Our Nancy Chen is a good kid, she works hard. Yes, we will definitely change. My brother also agreed. The place was crowded and noisy, and no one paid attention to the sister-in-law's crying and wailing. Everyone dispersed in a hurry after signing the guarantee. It's my turn to act now. My boss hasn't said a word. With a stern expression, what should I do? What if I get fired tomorrow? Won't I lose my chance for permanent employment? I cried and wailed in the living room. Daughter, don't cry anymore. Mom will go with you to your company to apologize tomorrow, okay? We will kneel before your boss. We will beg your boss for forgiveness. Yes, sister, don't cry. I'll move the air conditioning outdoor unit soon. Tell your boss that we've fixed everything, so you won't get fired. Only the sister-in-law was still sitting there sulking. Why do we have to change? I don't want to. My sister-in-law had not finished speaking when my brother directly slapped her. Shut up. How dare you slap me? How dare you slap me? Are you crazy? I'm still carrying your son. If you keep this up, my sister will lose her job. If my house and car were gone, you wouldn't live either. My brother rarely got angry with his pregnant sister-in-law, packed his belongings, and will return home tomorrow. After the three people left, I finally had some peace and quiet. I received a few photos sent by a senior classmate who works at the hospital. Is this your sister-in-law? I took a picture of it because it looked similar to you. I opened the image, and my sister-in-law and her brother were intimately arm in arm. The second image directly shocked my eyes. The two people were kissing. Your sister-in-law came to our hospital for a prenatal checkup. I know this man, and he said this is his girlfriend. I've seen photos of your sister-in-law on your social media, and I was afraid I might have gotten it wrong, so I took a few photos for you. It's my sister-in-law. Isn't this man her brother? I've known him for quite a few years, but I've never heard of him having a sister. Does he have a child? About 5 years old. Yes, We haven't heard any news about him getting married in these years, and it's mystifying that he has a child now, and we don't know who the child's mother is. It's quite a surprise. His head looks like a lush green meadow. I timed it right, when my sister-in-law went into the hospital. Send the photo to my brother. My brother hasn't responded to my messages. I will call my mom directly. Mom, how could sister-in-law do this? I can hardly believe it. Shoo, Mom, I think the sister-in-law's nephew actually looks quite like the sister-in-law. My mom didn't say anything. I could only hear my brother's roar from the other end of the phone. Aren't you the one who said that's your brother? How did you get intimate with your brother? Are you all right? What is your relationship with him? Is that your nephew, or is he your own son? You say, do you say that child is really yours? Damn, I feel sick when I think of you and your so-called brother kissing. I can't stand you anymore, let's get divorced. I suspect that the child in your belly is not mine. Don't go, my dear husband, I beg you. This child is definitely yours. Okay, I'll believe you for now, but once the child is born, I'll do a paternity test. If the child isn't mine, I'll kill you. My mom also went to scold my sister-in-law. And so, I listened to it all on the phone. Until my sister-in-law entered the maternity ward. I received a call from my mother while my boss and I were on a business trip out of town. How much money do you have? I'm a bit confused. Why did I start talking about money? Give me all the money you have. What's the matter? I ask. Your brother has gone in. I need to take the money to bail him out. How did my brother get in? That child is not your brother's. We did a paternity test right after he was born, and your brother couldn't handle it and strangled him to death. I laughed, but my brother is a murderer. How can I use money to redeem him? Why can't it be redeemed? Don't you want to give money? Don't force me to come find you. I know your address. You're free to do as you please, but I'm not there right now, and if you dare to come, I'll call the police and have you arrested for trespassing. My mom is really mad at me. Before I hang up the phone, I want to tell you, dear mother, that your dear son is just a bad person and deserves to go to jail and eat prison food. And my job doesn't provide any houses or cars, so don't dream about that. If you dare to come and see me, I will tell all my relatives about your son being a cuckold, and I will also announce to the whole world that your son is a murderer. Don't mess with me. Until I returned from my business trip, I learned that my sister-in-law and her boyfriend had a dispute with my parents, and they stabbed my parents with a knife. My mother died on the spot. My father has become a vegetative person. I went to the prison to see my sister-in-law. Why do you hate me so much? Why do you always want me to live in a room with an air conditioning outdoor unit? Why are you always looking down on me and targeting me everywhere? I hate how you've read so many books and have been so carefree out there. I thought I had married into a good family, but as soon as I entered the house, I was required to do the dishes, cook, and even wash the feet of my mother-in-law, father-in-law, and husband. But why don't you have to do it? Is it just because you are studying? I hate you, I really hate you, I just want you to die. I left after getting the answer I wanted. I read so many books because I can earn money for my family by reading. My brother dropped out of school early, and my parents said that if I study, I can earn a lot of money to support my brother. I used to be like her, taking care of countless chores at home, until the year I got so exhausted that I fell ill and had to take a year off from school. After that, I no longer had to do any housework at home since I couldn't get a scholarship. Walked out of prison. The sunlight outside is shining on the earth. It will also illuminate my future life.